Hello, online pipe community. Ethan, parsimonious piper. Today I've got with me Israel, SoCal piper. Israel, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good, Ethan. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great. I usually forget
Excellent.
housekeeping on these things, so let's get that out of the way with. I am smoking a two-star Pipe by Lee Bulldog. I got a bunch of these things. And in it, I'm smoking my own English blend, dark fire Kentucky based. What do you got going?
Oh, right now I am smoking my Stanwell. I think
Oh,
it's a
nice.
1970s something or other bamboo shank with a little bit of Eddie G. Robinson blend.
Very nice.
Very.
Okay. Well, let's dive into this. Tell us a little
Sure.
bit about yourself, where you live, what you do, etc.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Well, you guys know my name by now, Israel, SoCal Piper. I live here in well, it's actually considered Los Angeles County here in California, Southern California, and I am a licensed PNC broker. That's property and casualty. So I work in the insurance industry, which is pretty crazy right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I am just a pipe smoker working in insurance.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
so how long have you been at the pipe?
I want to say a couple of years now. A couple of years. I got into it. Uh, I don't know. I made a video not too long ago where I stated that I remember running up and down the aisles at a thrifty, which a thrifty over here in California. I don't know if they're out there in the other parts of the country, but they are drugstores. And it used to be that in the '80s they had a big long aisle of pipe tobacco. It was just an aisle dedicated to pipe tobacco and pipes. And I remember going down that aisle and just smelling all the aromatic bags of the bulk tobacco was just incredible, and the smell was just insane. And I remember the pipes popping out in my vision. They were like the Dr. Grable pipes. What I
Right.
really remember is the most. And I remember seeing a lot of corn cobs, but I don't think they were Missouri Meerschaums, but they were corn cob pipes. And so um, I was watching a few years back, well, actually more than a few years back. Well, a few years would probably constitute about five. But I was watching George Bruno, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with George Bruno. And he started smoking pipes while I was more looking for his videos on beards and how
Hmm.
to maintain a beard, because I grew a beard myself, and I noticed that he had a long beard, and I thought I want something like that. So I started watching all his videos, and all of a sudden he started introducing pipes into his videos, and I thought, hey, that reminds me of when I was a kid. And I thought, wow, what a beautiful thing. So I decided to go to well, let me back up. I had gone to Racine and Laramie in Old Town San Diego, and this is before I started smoking a pipe. And when I walked in there, I was more interested in their cigars because I used to smoke cigars back in 2005. But then I saw the wall of pipe tobacco. I saw pipes, and I thought,
Hmm.
you know what? I can get into this. You know what I mean? Like it really, I was really drawn to it. So when I came back from Racine and Laramie, I didn't purchase anything, which I should have. But being in Southern California, there aren't many brick and mortars here. But I looked online and I found one close to where I work, and now I frequent this one more often. And I bought my first pipe, and my first pipe being a Rossi 8673, which the Savinelli 673 is my favorite shape now, and because I found a Rossi same style pipe, and I loved it. And then I found out, as I was learning on my own, I found out that Rossi made or Savinelli makes Rossi pipes. So I was like, let me go for a bit of a higher end one. So that's when I got into the Savinelli 673 and just flew with it. Just started buying all those, and yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and I love it.
Well, so I guess I don't have to ask you what your favorite maker and shape are. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, I like the 673 as well, and I so encourage people who are interested in pipes to check out Rossi, because you can get a quality pipe at a really good price.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
You get Savinelli Engineering with maybe a lesser finish, but yeah, they are fantastic, fantastic smoking machines.
Truly,
Yes.
and the reason I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
the reason why I really dig Rossi pipes is because the majority of them do not come with with any filter drill. It's just a
Ah,
straight pipe with no filter, and I love that. I take all the filters out of all my pipes, so
yeah.
that's that.
If I get a pipe with a filter, I put an insert into it
There
to,
you go.
you know. I know some people like the open draw that you get when you just smoke a filtered pipe without a filter, and I've tried that, but on most blends, it's too much like smoking a cob, and I love my cobs, but that wide open draw, lends itself to some kinds of blends and not others, um,
Right.
or
No, I
cuts.
agree. I
Um,
agree.
and so yeah, I've only got a couple of filtered pipes, and I choke them down with the little inserts. So
Gotcha.
what would you say are your favorite blend types or blends then?
Well, um, they range. I like a lot of Virginia-based blends. I like Perique added to it. So I'm a vapor guy, and I do like dark fired Kentucky a lot. And if I can find a blend that has dark fired Virginia and Perique, that's for me. So I'd say right now my favorite blend. I can't say I have a favorite because I go through binges. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I bought Speakeasy, and my first video I was smoking Speakeasy, and that was I went through that 10 within a week, and that was just incredible. And that blend just really grew on me because of so much that's in it. And excuse me, it's so troubling when a notification pops up. But so yeah, I'm really a vapor guy, a navy blend guy. Um, let's see what else is out there. I was smoking a lot of English blends when I first started smoking pipes, and then they just all became one and the same. Nothing really stood out to me anymore, and so I stopped smoking a lot of English blends, and now I just stick to Virginias, Freaks, and yeah, Dark Fire Kentucky. And I started getting into Burleys about a year ago, and I'm
as well.
Nope, just lost you.
But if I had to say, I'm a vapor guy, as so many pipe smokers are.
Have you tried Russ Willette's Firestorm?
No, actually, I didn't get in on that one, and I can't find
Well,
that anymore.
that's not a limited release. That's a he has that available all year.
Oh,
So they may be out of it at any given time, but that one's not a small batch. Um, it's that is probably one of maybe 3 or 4 vapors that I really like. So I love Perique, but I don't particularly care for vapors if they don't have something else in it to make it interesting. And Russ Willette's Firestorm, yeah, fantastic. Dark Fried Kentucky in with the vapor. So,
right, and that's one of the things that I heard about Firestorm is that it has Dark Fire Kentucky, and that would totally be for me. I love that stuff.
yeah, definitely one worth trying out. Okay, now you cracked a 10 recently of fresh Escudo, and if I recall correctly, and weren't terribly impressed. Have you had time to spend with that fresh Escudo, or are you aging it? Have you had aged Escudo?
Oh, I've had Aged Escudo. Aged Escudo, and partially why I opened up the new tin was because I like the age so much that I was like, you know what, let me sacrifice a fresh tin to see, kind of get the differences, right? Oh boy, there's quite the difference. And so I did. I broke open the new Escudo. I smoked it once, wasn't impressed. I jarred it about a week. No, not a week. A few days later, almost a week. I revisited it, and I actually enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
It kind of grew on me. Yeah, it kind of grew on me. It was still very fresh. but it started getting that bready note, and that's kind of what I like about it. There was hardly any sweetness to it, which is okay, but it actually turned out to be a really good blend after a few weeks in the jar, and that I'm proud to say it's gone. I already smoked it
Right.
all, so I didn't wait.
Yeah, I was curious as to whether that one was going to wind up getting aged too, or whether you would smoke through it.
Yeah, no, I smoked it, man. That Escudo, I love Escudo. It's one of my favorite blends, and I have quite a few tins. I have one that I don't want to open it just yet. It's from 2014, and so I'm like, just it's itching to be cracked for sure. But I have a few others that are like 2016 that I'll probably open before that one, and then maybe the 2014 I'll open. I don't know, next year. Just kind of get it all that wonderful age. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll make a video on it. For
Now
sure.
you said you're starting to get into Burleys. What are your favorite Burleys so far?
So far, well, HH Burley Flake. That's one of my favorites because it has some dark fired in it. It's not too detectable, but it's there. You know. There is which one's the other one that I had? I've mainly been smoking that one, but I recently went to Racine and Laramie and purchased one that's it's called Chesty's Best, and Chesty's Best is a pure burley. It's got some cube cut and it's kind of has some rough cut, but it's all burley, no topping. It's just straight burley, and it's incredible.
Yeah,
It's got that.
good.
It's got Oh, it is. It's got a mushroom flavor. It's very musty. For some reason, I like blends that just aren't okay. I like blends that are not too sweet, and then I like some that are sweet. But when it comes to the sweet, I like the Virginias. But Burley, I think, is best smoked when it's just pure and not heavily topped like a lot of aromatics are a lot of Burley, a lot of Black Cavendish, things like that. But it's heavily topped, and it's just the beautiful tobacco just gets lost. And I don't know. I'm more of a pure smoker.
Okay, so I have to ask, have you tried Old Joe Krantz and Haunted Bookshop yet?
Oh, Haunted Bookshop. That's one of my favorites as well.
Oh yeah.
That's one that I do keep in my cellar. I know a lot of people don't like that one, but for me, because I do like natural flavor, I like to pick out the Burley, some of the Perique, and then some of that Virginia that just kind of just balances everything out. It's just, I don't know, that it's good. I like it.
I was going to say that should push all three of those buttons for you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I love it. And then Old Joe Krantz, I have not tried any of them yet. Because I think there are a few, right?
There are. The original Old Joe Krantz, from what I understand, is Haunted Bookshop, but with a higher percentage of red Virginia.
Okay.
And then Red Label is Old Joe Krantz, but with Latakia added in. And I don't even remember what the other, though. They have a red label, a white label, and a blue label, something like that, in addition to the original. The original and the red are the only ones I've tried. I actually like the red better than the original, and the original was one of my top 5 blends for a long time. I love Burleys, love Burleys, and I like to taste the tobacco. I'm not big on most toppings. I'm really not big on alcohol toppings. I like my bourbon in a glass.
There you go. No, I agree. Except for this Edward G. Robinson, this has a little bit of liqueur, but it's a tasty smoke.
Yeah, but and see, that was one of those that I liked it, but I won't buy it again. And it was exactly because of that the alcohol topping just didn't do it for me. But that one is so popular.
It is.
Speaking of toppings, how about Lakelands, Innerdale, or any of the heavily topped floral? You like those?
Yeah, Innerdale, I enjoy that one more of when it comes to the tin note. Not the tin note, but the bag note, because I bought some of that in bulk, and I love the smell, but I smoked it out of a cob, and ruined the cob, just
Oh,
ruined it.
oh,
So it just really, yeah, that smell, that Lakeland essence just would not. I tried to smoke a heavily topped very cherry from Lane Limited, and I tried to just take the ghost out with that, and nope, it's still
no
there. So
luck,
I was
huh?
like,
Yeah.
none. So
Yeah.
I haven't tried any of the others other than Bob's Chocolate Flake as of recent, and I enjoy it in that one because it's not that prominent. So I don't
Yeah.
mind that one.
I don't
Yeah.
notice it at all in that. Yeah,
Mm.
I have the only pipe I have dedicated is one that's dedicated to Lakelands. Um,
Oh, okay.
well, that's not entirely true. I've got a couple other pipes that are dedicated for sentimental reasons because the person who gave me the pipe smokes something. But in terms of really matching up a blend, no, I got this one pipe and whoever gets that after I die is going to have to like Lakelands because otherwise they'll have to just pitch it in a campfire or something because it's never coming out.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
well, speaking of do you dedicate pipes or just work through your rotation?
Um, I do have because I have a quite a collection of 7LE673s, and so I'll smoke some burleys out of some of them, and then Virginia's vapors, and yeah, no, I won't do aromatics out of them, but I only have one. Okay, so yeah, I have some that are dedicated to Virginias and vapors, some that are dedicated to burleys, and then I have one pipe, just one pipe that's dedicated to dark fired Kentucky or Kentucky blends. So that's about it. I don't really designate one pipe for any blend really. To me, when it comes to um, ghosting, I don't notice it as much because I already have smoked the tobacco I'm smoking in a pipe, so I'm picking out the flavor that I know that's there, so I don't really allow the if any ghosting at all to really uh, how would you say it? The word's there, but it's not coming to my brain. Influence the taste, I
Ah,
guess you could
gotcha.
say.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So no real dedications except for that one pipe, and it's my Briarworks classic billiard, and that's for old dark fired is what I smoke out of it.
Well, and don't forget you have a dedicated Ennerdale cob. so so you
Man, I don't even smoke that cob anymore, dude. I can't. It's ruined. It's too perfumey, dude. I mean, especially that Innerdale.
I bet
Innerdale
the
is
cob
just
just soaked
so
that up.
strong.
I bet.
It's insane. And then trying to do the very cherry to kind of ghost it out, if that's even a word.
Uh,
It just now it's just ruined. It's just ruined. So that's the problem with cobs. They do some of them do get ghosted, and mine did, and I'm just really unhappy.
yeah, people say they don't, but they definitely can. Um, I have a couple of workhorse cobs that I wouldn't say I've dedicated them. They're just my yard work cobs, and I'm usually smoking Carter Hall or some other codger type burley blend when I'm doing yard work. So
Gotcha.
it's not really that they're dedicated. It's just that I happen to smoke those blends when I'm outside working. Um,
Yeah,
do you have um, do you have a meerschaum that you use for tasting?
I do. It's not a meerschaum. Well, I don't call it a meerschaum, but it's just a clay pipe that I'll use just to taste some blends. And yeah, that's a godsend because I've purchased some tobaccos where I'm like, oh man, it's a good thing I didn't use a briar or even one of my cobs ruin another cob.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely those clay pipes are a must if you're going to be trying any kind of tobacco.
Well, and
For
when
sure.
you can pick up a clay pipe, now I only have one, and the bowl is only and maybe an inch deep. It's a small
Hmm.
bowl. It might not even be an inch. It's great for tasting,
Right.
and that one really doesn't ghost. Um,
Right.
it doesn't matter what I smoke in it. It's clean at the end in terms of smell. Um, so have you gone the whole route of buying different components in order to start breaking down you know, what does a pure blending Burley taste like? What does an Izmir or, you know, different Orientals?
You know, only with, let's see, I purchased because I wanted to see what a bright Virginia would taste like on its
Hmm.
own. So I purchased some from Cornell and Deal. I bought some bulk, and that got me going. I was like, okay, well, I want to try a pure Oriental. Well, I've yet to purchase just a pure Oriental, but I had some Robert McConnell's Oriental um, blend, and that gave me a good idea of what Oriental tastes like. And so I understood that it was very tangy and a little floral. So I that got me into Orientals for sure. That Robert McConnell Oriental flake or blend. And then when it comes to dark fired, to me, there's nothing that really shouts dark fired other than old dark fired
Mm.
from McBaron or H McBaron there. Um,
Have you tried
and
Bold
then with
Kentucky?
Bold Kentucky, I have not
Because
yet
that,
tried
that
that one.
yeah, that takes the Kentucky and Old Dark Fire and amps it up significantly.
From what I read, yeah. From what I read, yeah. And as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I placed an order last night on smoking pipes, and I was definitely looking at that one, but there were some other blends that I wanted to try, so I got those instead. But that Bold Kentucky is definitely in my wish list. That one and there's another Warhorse. Warhorse is what I heard that also has some dark fired. So I actually
Yeah.
placed that one in my cart. So that
Both
one's
of
going
those,
too.
both of those are pretty heavily topped though. So the Kentucky is it's there, but it's a little sublimated. Uh,
Mm,
the other two that well, three that I recommend to people who really like Kentuckies, um, for a carry around, Amphora Kentucky is fantastic. I
mm,
you get a pouch of their Amphora Kentucky and just carry it with you. And then now I don't buy tins anymore. Well, I rarely buy tins. If I can't get it in bulk, and I, when I say bulk, some of the Gawith and Hogarth are available in 500 gram or 1 kilo. Um, no, I don't know that I've seen a kilo. It's 500 gram and 250. If I can't find it in a at least a large, you know, quantity like that, I
right,
don't buy it much anymore. But John Cotton's the double pressed line. There's both a double pressed Kentucky and a double pressed dark fired, and they are
we,
very similar to Old Dark Fired and Bold Kentucky in their difference.
okay,
The double pressed dark fired is definitely a lot more Kentucky flavor. The double pressed Kentucky is a
right.
fantastic smoke.
I
Uh,
had that one. I have it. Yeah, that one, and I don't know why it escaped my mind, but I still have a little tiny bit of that cake because I just don't want to smoke it all. But that one is just amazing.
yeah.
It's got the Kentucky flavor, and it also has a little bit of a floral note in it. And I just, oh my god, that is a good one. Thank you for reminding me because that one's at the bottom of my cellar right now.
Well, and their double pressed dark fired is definitely worth a try.
Where
Um,
can I see? I need to know where to find these guys, man.
um,
I can't find them anywhere online.
Yeah, the dark fired, the double pressed dark fired, I don't see in stock all the time. I happened to catch it one time. I wasn't even really looking at it, and it must have been in a sidebar on the website or something, and I saw it.
Mm,
Because yeah, that I wasn't really looking for it, and happened to find it. Um,
nice.
so, have you tried the black and brown Irish twists from Gawith Hogarth?
I've only tried the brown Irish because the Tinderbox close by, well, a few miles down the road, they carry a lot of the rope tobaccos, and I bought one, and which was the Irish, the brown twist, and incredible, incredible
Mhm.
because it's a Virginia tobacco, but
Yeah, pure Virginia.
it's it's incredible, and but though I made the mistake of smoking that on an empty stomach one morning, and I was on my way to work, and I was smoking that, drinking some coffee, and I had quite a few bowls because I broke up enough to make do for 2 bowls. And as soon as I went upstairs, I was gonna grab some more coffee, but as I'm walking, I'm thinking, oh boy, this isn't good. I started getting a little lightheaded and getting a little queasy, and I thought, this ain't right, is it?
Yeah. Well,
So I had to be
that,
careful with that one.
anybody who is nicotine sensitive at all, yes, take that one with or after a meal. Um,
Hmm.
and
Well, I learned my lesson
yeah,
for sure.
the black twist is the same thing, but they they coat it in olive oil and bake it some more, and
Oh,
it has a now. Some people disagree on this, but to me and to a lot of people, it has kind of a charred meat, charred steak type flavor to it, where
sure.
a dark fired Kentucky has kind of a barbecuey aroma and flavor to it. That black twist, tastes like a well charred steak. I love it.
That sounds good.
Those two are my top two blends. I can't really figure out which one I like better, and I'm not really sure I do like either of them better than the other. But
Right.
I've got pounds of those. Those ones are cellar blends for me. Um,
That's
I buy them,
perfect. That's
yeah,
perfect.
I buy them whenever they drop. They are fantastic. Do you have any cellar blends, things that you are really stocking up on?
I do. I have a lot of Escudo. I have a lot of that, and I also have a lot of Peterson Deluxe Navy rolls. Those two are my favorite, and I think that if all tobaccos go out of style or out of production, I have enough to get me through a few years. But those are the main ones that I stock up on because they're just my absolute favorite. Um, One that I find that I could abuse the most is the Peterson Deluxe Navy rolls because they're just so, to me, they're just very decadent. Where you can enjoy it in a fresh batch or even an aged batch. Not like the Escudo. The Escudo's got to wait, so it's like I'll probably
Mhm.
smoke the majority of the Peterson rolls before I even start cracking open any new Escudo. But definitely Escudo and Peterson Deluxe Navy rolls. But my cellar also has HH Pure Virginia. It has HH Burley, a lot of Speakeasy, a lot of Opening Night, these Cornell and Deal blends. Um, I have a few Robert McConnell blends. So, but yeah, no, Escudo and Peterson Deluxe Navy rolls by far outweigh the rest for sure.
Have you tried the New Minster 403, the Superior Round Slice?
No, I have not.
That one is Kentucky and Virginia. These are a couple more of, since I know you like the Kentucky. Um, that's a very affordable bulk blend, and so I've got jars and jars of the Newminster 403. And what's the other one? The other one is the Stokeby Luxury Bullseye Flake. That's a vapor with the uh,
Cavendish.
Cavendish core. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had tried that. What your thoughts are on that one?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, as a matter of fact, that is another one that I have in my cellar. But yeah, I have a jar of that. And that one I generally pick out when I'm like, okay, well, do I want to really dip into my Navy rolls? Because again, a Scudo, it's aging. I haven't opened up
Right.
a new tin since that new tin that I opened. But um, yeah, Peter Stokeby's Luxury Bullseye Flake is the one that I go to when I'm just kind of like, what do I want to smoke? You know, and when I can't figure it out, when I can't just put a finger on one blend, I'm like, I'm just gonna grab that because it never lets me down.
Yeah.
It's a perfect balance. It's a perfect balance. And me personally, I don't really detect so much the Cavendish. Um, sometimes there's little pockets of it because it's hard to break up that little center core because it's so hard. It's
Right.
such a hard little core. But I'll pick up some pockets, but it really does remind me of the Peter Stokeby Luxury Navy Flake, which I have some of that too. But I tend to cellar the tobaccos and tend not to smoke the tobaccos I really like. So I'll just go for that luxury bullseye flake because that one's always available and it's always
Yeah.
satisfying for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Well, and that's one that I can find in some of the small brick and mortars around here. So,
Mm,
even if they don't have anything else I'm interested, I can pick up a couple ounces just to support the store.
for
'Cause,
sure.
yeah, I can always have a little more of that hanging around. I like you. I don't get a huge hit of what I think of as a Cavendish sweetness. I think it mellows the blend out a little bit, maybe smooths it out. Um,
Yeah,
but that's another example of I like something else in with the vapor to make it interesting. And so, yeah,
sure,
was curious
sure.
as to whether you were onto that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, I love the fact that sometimes the Cavendish does give the smoke more body. It get
Hmm.
and provides more smoke as well. And it just, like you said, it just smooths it out. It's just very pleasant. I don't know. That's Stokeby, man. Some good
Well,
stuff.
and I tend to smoke fast even when I'm trying to smoke slow. So it's nice to have a blend like that's a little forgiving. I think the Cavendish helps a bit with that. Um,
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
now
Doesn't smoke hot.
you just recently hit 100 subs. What got you? It's a two part. What got you drawn into the YTPC first as a viewer, and then what made you switch sides and get behind the camera?
So, uh, in all honesty, I wasn't really a YTPC viewer. Um, I mean, if you can go back before I started making videos, you won't see many comments on any guys' channels that many presenters. But like I said, I was watching George Bruno for a little bit back, 5 years
Mhm.
ago, and around that time, I found like all of a sudden matches, John Harden's videos started popping up, and I'm like, okay. And so I watched one, and it was a live. It was one of his lives before his last live, and I just went through that live, and I thought, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that any of this stuff existed. And so after I saw one of his lives, a lot of his other videos started popping up, and I figured, oh, this guy's just talking. Like that's cool. It still didn't strike me to want to get into pipe smoking and making videos. It just really intrigued me that there was people like George Bruno and Matches who were just making videos talking about pipe, smoking a pipe, showing what they're smoking, and I'm thinking, people really tune into this? I didn't think anything other than that. And then finally, I got to say, maybe about a month now. I think I've been doing this about a month or a little bit over a month. I was sitting in my car, and I thought, I remember, watching guys smoking pipes and making videos. So I thought, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can just put myself out there, because what I really wanted to do, my main objective was to read the word
Hmm.
and bring it to a platform where, if a pipe is going to get me in there and get the word out, then let's try that. Because there were times where I thought, well, I can always just break open my Bible, record myself reading it, and then have people, if they want to watch it, they can watch it. That'd be great. But I thought, if I can bring something more to it, um, why not? Because as I'm learning, there are a lot of believers in this community,
Yeah.
and that touches my heart so much, and it just really helps me to continue doing what I'm doing. And I figured, why not read the word and smoke a pipe at the same time and enjoy it, you know? So the first video I made, sorry, that was a long, that was a
No.
long one, but so my first video, I literally just set my phone on my steering wheel and just hit record, and I was smoking Speakeasy, and it was probably the first 10 that I was smoking of Speakeasy, and just gave my thoughts a little on it. And I don't remember what I was talking about, but I thought, man, this is going to be some video, because people are probably gonna be like, who's this guy? You know what I mean? Like, what the heck is this guy's boring? Like, that's the first thing I thought, but I thought, who cares? Because it's gonna get me in there.
Hmm.
And after that video, my wife, she had seen it, and she's like, I like that. She's like, I like that, the fact that you said God bless at the end. And I'm like, okay, that didn't, to me, that's just who I am. And so she says, I think you should make another video and then just end it with God bless. And I'm like, okay. So I started making the videos and I started incorporating the Lord. And for some reason, my channel got suspended. My whole account got suspended after 3 videos. And I really didn't know how to go about it because, again, I'm not a YouTuber and I'm not experienced in this, but I prayed about it and I thought, you know what, Lord, if you want me to continue doing this and, bringing your word to a larger audience than the people around me, then how about you do something about it and you get me back on that platform? And Brody Joe had a lot to do with the encouragement aspect when he had shouted me out. That also prompted me to, you know what, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to fight for this channel. And Lord, you're going to be the guide. So I prayed to him. I appealed their decision, YouTube's decision. And a few days later, they threw me back on. And I'm like, all right, Lord, well, if this is what you want, then I'm dedicating this channel to you. And that's exactly what I've been doing since I got reinstated.
Well, and for any of my viewers who aren't familiar with Israel's channel yet, if you're interested, he does a daily or almost daily scripture reading and prayer. And, it's either in a short format or in a short video that's not technically a short. So, it's almost like just getting a little break from your day with some encouragement from the Bible, and they're absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
So for anybody who's interested in that, and also Brody Joe is a nature photography guy, and a phenomenal human being and a phenomenal photographer. The guy's amazing on both counts. He really is. So as we start to wind down just a little bit, what do you like best about this online pipe community?
The love, the support, the care. It's just an amazing group of people who have at least 2 things in common: pipes and tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what draws everyone together, though everyone might not have the same opinion on blends or pipes or beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
Or occupations. There are 2 things that bring us all together, and that's pipes and tobacco. And I cannot think of a stronger community other than church, where we all have one interest, which being the Lord, where people can just come, ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for advice, and you'll get it. You'll get it. It's not, nobody's too, I don't know, nobody's too prideful in this community. It's very humbling, to say the least. And to be a part of it, I feel right at home. It's amazing. And again, when I first started making these videos, I didn't know what YTPC was. I didn't know what Yabos were. I didn't know what all this lingo was until I started making more videos, and then I started watching more videos, which was very important to me because I wanted to be in touch with those who are watching me and I'm watching them, because I've done social media. I've done Facebook. I've done not Instagram, but I've done Facebook, and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on politics and things like that. And just people are just so cynical and hateful and hurtful. And it's like, this is not how the world really is. It's just people's feathers getting ruffled and they're playing on it,
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like that. And coming and being embraced by this community has really helped me to realize that I was right. This isn't how the world is. The world isn't always angry. People don't wake up angry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No.
So,
and if they do, they're living a miserable life.
Definitely. I agree. It's terrible. But this community, The YTPC is definitely a vacation from, I want to say, a fabricated reality.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So.
Well, speaking of non-fabricated realities,
Sure.
my next to last question for you is, living there in Southern California, what
Mhm.
well, it's a two-part question. What are your favorite and least favorite things about living there, and what's one thing that you think everybody who visits Southern California should see or do?
Okay. Um, we'll go with what people should see or do. People should definitely go down to the beach. The coast here is just glorious. I mean, I've only really visited, let's say, Huntington Beach and Newport Beach, and I'm sorry, was it Laguna Beach? All those beaches are just beautiful, and surprisingly, they're very conservative. So there aren't too many things that are going to shock you when you go out there. Now, what I like about California is we have everything. We have the ocean, we have the mountains, we have amusement parks, we have good food. We have a variety of food. We have everything from American food, from burgers to Lebanese. We have
Mm-hmm.
just the cuisine out here is just incredible. There's nothing you cannot find. The thing I don't like about California, of course, with almost any Californian will tell you, are the high cost of living,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
taxes that get raised periodically, and the construction on the freeways. I mean, the freeways are always under repair and they're never completed. There's always traffic in California. I mean, they can open up the lanes as wide as they want, but so long as only 2 lanes are available because there's construction on the other 4,
Mm-hmm.
forget it. So yeah, the traffic is one thing I don't like. Taxes are another. High cost of living. It's just too darn expensive to live out here. And I could see why so many people are moving out of state, because it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, living hand to mouth and then back to hand again is not the way of life. It's not.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So,
well,
those are my answers.
Thank you so much for spending all this time with me. I'm going to give you one parting shot. You have something that you'd like to tell the YTPC?
Sure. If you guys ever need any prayer, any support, any kind of encouragement, you guys know where to find me on my channel. I've already received many emails from many viewers that have just touched my heart. I didn't know that this simple guy right here can reach so many people in a short period of time. And so, I would just like to extend my encouragement, my support, and my love to anyone who needs it, because that's what we're here for. Not just in the YTPC, but that's why the Lord put us here, to be light and to be to exemplify Christ in a dark and dying world. And that's all I could really say about that.
Well, I couldn't have said it any better myself. That I agree wholeheartedly. With that, folks, his link will be down below, so you can check him out, give him a sub. Think you'll like it. Like something you like. Enjoy this afternoon.